Now, hours before the world's newest country is created, the UN Security Council has voted to set up a new peacekeeping force for the Republic of South Sudan. After decades of war with the North, the fledgling state won't have an easy start. At midnight tonight, Africa's largest nation will effectively split in two, creating the independent state of South Sudan. Our international editor, Lindsey Hilsum, travelled to Bentiu and the new capital, Juba.
Our rocket-propelled grenades destroyed their tanks, they sing. This is our country. Yes, we made it. But it's not weapons they brandish. Disabled veterans are the most potent symbol of South Sudan's half-century of conflict and its perilous future. The students at Bentiu Secondary School live with the legacy of war. They know the words to the new national anthem, if not quite the tune. It represents their hope, but the new government says 2.5 million people died in the last war. Friction with the North could yet spark renewed conflict. Less than half the children of South Sudan attend school. Fear, poverty and suffering are ever present.
We now want to know why we are suffering like this. Child and women and men are all dead. And then what should they do? All of our fathers, our mothers, our kids.
Just a few miles from the school is the resource South Sudan hopes will be its salvation: oil. Previously controlled by the North, oil will provide 98% of the new nation's revenue.
The oil in this pipeline will belong to South Sudan because most of the oil fields are here in the south. But all the refineries and ports, everything they need to export is in the north. That means the two countries are going to be totally dependent on each other to realize their major asset. If politicians on both sides understand that, it could be the best deterrent against going back to war.
And whatever the problems, this is their moment. It's a time for celebration. Poverty won't disappear overnight, but what southern Sudanese saw as a northern occupying force has gone.
We are free. We feel now that we are human beings in our own land that God has given to us, and we are free people. This is really the beginning of a new country from zero, really from nothing.
The women who break rocks at the roadside have nothing. Like 99% of Southerners, they voted for independence, but they're unlikely to reap the benefits, partly because government corruption creams off oil and aid money. This week, South Sudanese are praying that somehow they'll overcome all odds, that they'll become less dependent on aid and oil and forge their own future. Once, young men here had two options: exile or war. South Sudan is still a highly militarized society. Soldiers rule. But independence should give the next generation different choices. They'll be born into poverty, but they'll be free. Lindsey Hilsum, Channel 4 News, South Sudan.
And that's it. We're back tomorrow at 6:40. Until then, that's Channel 4 News. Have a very good evening.